Hello and welcome to another episode of Unstuck with Hypnopunk, Transformation with Edge. Today's episode is a very special episode. It is the audio from a seminar I gave late last year at, I believe, the Total Health Show on how to delete, turn down, remove old chronic pain. So I'm going to give you at least 3 tangible tools in this talk to help you alleviate the symptoms of old chronic pain. So please do listen. As always, I'd like to give a big shout out for those who have left their 5-star reviews. You remember I love those on Google Play, on iTunes, on Spotify, on YouTube, wherever you listen to this show. That's what lets me know that the word is getting out there. So please do subscribe to this show, do give it a like, and do share so we can continue to grow this audience. So on with today's show. Now, what do I mean by chronic pain? Chronic pain, my definition of it, is a pain that you've had for at least 6 months. You've gone to your doctor, your surgeon, and they pretty much have run out of ideas on how to help you, and you are still experiencing the symptoms of that pain. For some clients, they've come to see me 30 years after an automobile accident where they're still complaining of problems in their lower back, and their doctor ran out of ideas about 15 years earlier. So that's what I'm talking about by chronic pain. As always, if you have acute pain, i.e., God forbid, if there is such a person, if you've been hit by a car and you are bleeding, then immediately go to the emergency room and have that sorted out. That goes without reason, or goes with reason, I should say. I'm talking about stuff, as I said, that's been around for a while, and you pretty much run out of all ideas on what to do. This is what this seminar, this is what this podcast is going to help you to do here today. The techniques I'm going to teach at this audio recording, this seminar, are techniques that I have used to great success with people with lower degenerative disc problems, people that had frozen shoulders, people who suffered from rheumatoid arthritis or osteoporosis, just to name a few, and I had amazing success in these areas, and I have no question, no doubt that you too will. Here's an interesting thing. I worked with hypnosis now going into my 23rd year, and for many years I was fascinated by the notion of pain control, controlling pain, anesthetizing yourself with suggestion so you wouldn't be able to experience pain in the moment. And I could kind of get myself around with helping people with psychological issues and addictions and the like. But I'm like, really? How can this stuff, this change work, this hypnosis stuff, how can it really help people with pain? I mean, I could buy into suggestion and placebo and non-placebo, but really, how can it really help people alleviate pain? So I remembered I was on a train travelling from one office to the other, travelling from Toronto to my Ottawa office. And I was listening to an audio recording, and admittedly, up until fairly recently, I've not been the best hypnotic candidate myself. But as Anthony Jacquin said, it's never too late. You can always train yourself to become a better hypnotic candidate. And thankfully I have. And this was one of the big learnings for me. So I'm on the train, listening to an audio. And part of the audio was anesthetizing a part of my body so I wouldn't be able to feel pain. And so the suggestion began with anesthetizing my fist. So I just played along. You know, I've got 4.5 hours on this journey. What else am I going to do other than listen to great podcasts like Unstuck with Hypnopunk? And so I had the experience, I'm fully aware. I'm listening to the recording. I'm like, all right, let's play along. So I went with the suggestions. I pretended that my fist had been anesthetized. And I sent that anesthetation, that lack of feeling, all the way from one arm to the other arm, coming into my other fist, my right fist, I believe. So it was anesthetized. There was a little bit of anesthetation there, if that's the word. And what I mean by that is specifically, there was some numbness, there were some pins and needles that had just come through suggestion. I'm like, well, how much of this is hypnosis and how much of this is just me not moving my hand for a little bit? But I continued to play along. Then the next suggestion was to take my left hand and to gently start to rub it against my jaw, numbing my jaw. To numb my jaw. So I did that, and I brushed my jawline, my left jawline, 3, 4, 5 times with a suggestion on the audio that it would become numb. And lo and behold, it became numb. I mean, to the point where my tongue was numb, my tongue was swelling out. I saw it in the mirror, and I'm speaking like this, and I'm kind of like, I must have looked like a crazy person. I'm kind of like jabbing myself in my left side of my jaw to not feel anything. I mean, I was aware that there was a pressure there, and obviously I could see my hand, but I wasn't actually feeling any discomfort there. It was just numb. It was just reminding me of going to the dentist and having Novocaine injected into my gum. It was the strangest feeling. And I was starting to speak, and I was kind of speaking like this, the kind of way that you'd speak if one side of your mouth was numb and that's Novocaine. This really happened. Now, I'm fully aware I'm halfway between Toronto and Ottawa. My eyes are open at this point. I'm aware I'm seeing the chair in front of me, the person sitting to my left, and but it worked. And I'm like, there's something to this pain stuff. If I can do it on me, I can do this on anyone. So that enabled me to have even more confidence in working with people with pain. Recently, I had a gentleman come in, and I won't share his name to protect the innocent, and he came to see me about 4 years ago to stop smoking. And he stopped smoking. He was smoking only about 30 cigarettes a day, just over a pack, and he stopped smoking in one session, and I hadn't heard from him for about 3.5 years, 4 years. I imagine it went well. And I was given an expo. I believe it was actually this expo, this edit that you're going to get of the pain release removal seminar portion coming up. And this lady came up to me. She goes, I got to thank you. You saw my husband, we'll call him John, that's not his real name, about 3.5, 4 years ago to stop smoking. And he stopped smoking. I'm like, oh, well, that's lovely. That's really, really great to hear. Please tell him to send me a message. It always warms my heart to hear about great successes. And that was it. So the Monday after the expo, the Monday or the Tuesday, I got a text message, so an email from this gentleman, and he shared his success with me, and it was beautiful, lovely. Goes, and also, I'm experiencing some back pain. I've had this back pain for about 3 to 5 years right now. I'm just thinking about potentially getting surgery, some degenerative disc. But it is quite painful to have the surgery done, and the recovery time is quite long. I know that we had great success in you helping me to become a non-smoker. I saw on your website you do pain removal, pain control. Wondered if we could give this a shot. So I'm like, sure. So lo and behold, he came in, and I removed the pain from his lower back. He booked 3 sessions. About a month later, he came back for his second session. I'm like, hey, how things been? He's like, well, it's been amazing. Where you removed the pain, where I was experiencing the pain for the last 3 years in my lower back, it's completely gone. That pain in my lower back that I had has completely gone. It's been the first time in 3 years. This is incredible. And he said, but the strangest thing happened. I didn't tell you this. I didn't think to tell you this. But prior to me having that back pain, which just came on 3 years ago, I was having some pain in just above my hips on my back. 2 points just above the hips, below the lower back, but below the point where you removed the pain, where I was complaining of the pain. But I didn't tell you, but I had some pain there before the pain came along. And once you removed the pain from my lower back, it was next day or two was amazing. I'm doing more gardening, more renovation at a cabin. But that old pain that the other pain was disguising above on my lower hip, just above my coccyx, has returned, and it made me smile. He said this. He said it made me smile because I didn't tell you about that. I didn't tell you that's where I had the pain originally. I forgot myself. But where I told you I had the pain, it is now gone. I'm like, that's amazing. Do you want to get rid of the pain on those 2 hips? He's like, sure. Then we proceeded to get rid of the pain on his hips, and now I'm happy to report we're about 3 weeks into it, and he's hunky-dory. Everything's going great, going fantastic. So this is how powerful this technology is that I teach at this seminar for your consumption today. Enjoy it. As always, tell a friend, spread the word. We want to build up this community. Without further ado, here is how to remove old pain.
luckily for me, I don't have anything, but I did have a sprain my ankle a year and a half ago. Now it kind of taunts me every once a week or so, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that ankle is not quite. So, anyways, remarkably, pain can be dealt with rather rapidly and permanently. In this live demonstration, we will give an audience member, so please volunteer, the opportunity to experience what it's like to be pain-free. So if you want to walk away from your pain today, make sure you shoot your hand up and volunteer for Luke. And Luke is going to also be available for questions afterwards, booth 66. So please give him a warm Toronto welcome, and let's join Luke to the show.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How is everybody? Can everyone hear me okay? Hands up if you can hear me. Hands up if you can't hear me. Cool. So who here has some kind of back pain? Some kind of chronic back pain, okay? And by chronic, I mean anything more than 3 months. Who here has some kind of shoulder pain, chronic pain? Okay? Who here has some kind of neck pain? Who here has fibromyalgia? You've got everything. We're going to work later on together, you and I. Who here has some form of arthritis? Awesome. So hypnosis and what I'm going to present you today is going to be able to help you to deal with that, to manage it, to turn it down, to dial it down, potentially even delete it once and for all. And my promise to you all today, guys, is to give you at least 3 tangible tools that when you leave here today, you'll be able to use in your own life in order to alleviate your pain, dial it down, or switch it off completely. So Mel's going to hand out a sign-in sheet here, and if you want the videos of me teaching you pain-free techniques, we'll give it to you for free. Just put your name and email on the sheet that's going around. So that being said, who here has experienced hypnosis before in this room? Everyone who didn't put their hands up is lying. Everything is hypnosis. Has anyone had the experience of watching a movie, being so captivated by that movie, crying, getting an emotional reaction to that movie, but the movie wasn't real? Anyone had that experience before? There we go. Anyone an avid reader that you get so caught up in your book, you're reading something like Lord of the Rings, something like Harry Potter, the girl with a dragon tattoo for our adult, mature audience, and you get so captivated in that book that it feels like maybe you've only been reading for 30 minutes. You look at your watch and 3 hours has gone by to form a hypnosis. Who here's had the experience of perhaps driving from work to home? And you got home, and you didn't consciously know how you got home because you'd made the journey so many times, it was automatic. We call that highway hypnosis. Most of us experience it every day, and hopefully your eyes were open. So we go into hypnosis at least conservatively about 50 times a day. I'm going to show you how to channel that today in order to alleviate your pain, your discomfort, and again, chronic pain. So that brings me on to my next segue. There's 2 types of pain. There's acute pain, i.e. you just had an accident, you just got hit by a car, go to the doctors, go to the emergency room immediately. What I help people work with is chronic pain. And how I define chronic pain is a pain that's been around for at least 3 months and isn't going anywhere. A kind of pain that your doctor perhaps will prescribe medication for to alleviate the pain because he or she has no idea on how to maybe deal with it. That's the kind of pain that we're working with today. So there's new pain and there's old pain. I can only help people work with old pain, the pain that you've got today that has led you to the dance here today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or next week, but the pain that you've got now and have accumulated up to this point, that's what I can help you with. Now, old pain is very unuseful. It's not useful at all. Because here's the process of pain. You feel pain, i.e. my hand is in a fire. My finger starts to burn. Then I get a message in my brain, remove your hand from the fire. That's the second process of pain. The third thing is I take an action. I pull my hand out of the fire. The fourth part of pain is the appropriate healing time. It may take a day, a week, a month, 6 months to heal up that hand. And the 5th step is I'm healed at that point. Now when I see somebody, they haven't got to the 5th step.
they've got lost somewhere along the way. Whenever we feel pain, it's a message. It's a message to stop doing something stupid. I.e., your hand's in the fire. You feel pain, it starts to hurt. Your unconscious mind is telling you, hey, remove your hands from the fire, otherwise, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to increase the pain and the signal louder and louder to give you more pain until you stop doing something stupid by having your hand in the fire. As soon as you get that message and you remove the hand from the fire, the sooner the healing process can happen. Now, new pain's good, in a way. What I mean by that, new pain is a signal. Right now, for example, if you're squatting, you're bending over, you feel pain or discomfort. It's your body's way of saying, hey, you're doing something a bit silly now, stop it. Dial down your intensity. That's a useful message. Old pain is something that happened 30 years ago, maybe even an automobile accident. 30 years ago, yet you're still feeling that pain and discomfort. Even though your doctor's saying, hey, well, there's no reason for you to keep feeling it, but you do still feel the pain. And I don't dispute that when people feel pain, they are really feeling pain. But however, here's the interesting thing, your body doesn't feel pain. So if you break your knee, it's not your knee that's feeling pain. If you break your back, it's not your back that's feeling pain. If your hand is in a fire, it's not your hand that's feeling pain. Your body cannot feel pain. But what happens is, again, I go back to the metaphor of putting your hand in a fire. Hand doesn't feel the fire no matter how hot it gets, but there's a nerve impulse that goes all the way up to your spinal column, to your central nervous system, to your brain, that says, oh, she's doing something silly now, and it will give you the message of pain to make you do something else. So it's your brain that feels pain, not your body. And there's always a message. And when you're able to get that message, most times you're able to resolve it. Has anyone ever heard of Dr. Sano? Anyone heard of Dr. Sano? He wrote a famous book called Healing Back Pain. No one's ever heard of Dr. Sano, right? Dr. Sano was a lead physician, a surgeon at, I want to say, Belmont Hospital in New York City for 30 years. And he specialized in helping people with chronic back pain. Legit medical surgeon. And what he noticed, after 5-10 years of doing this, he realized that just in conversation, by finding out what people's stories are and helping them get the message that was behind their pain, that a huge percent of the time, we're talking 80s, 90% of the time, in chronic back pain issues, they were able to feel no more pain in their back and move on with their life without the need of surgery. And he wrote a book about 20-30 years ago, which is still prevalent today, called Healing Back Pain. So a lot of what I do and what I teach is based on that. Another thing is, has anybody heard of Dr. Hammer from Germany? This man has, and this lady, good. So Dr. Hammer was a German medical doctor. And what happened is he got cancer in his body one day. And what he realized is he started to work and specialize in helping people going through the cancer process. And he worked with over 10,000 case studies. And in 10,000 case studies of somebody that got a cancer, any form of cancer, men, women, every type of cancer you can imagine, every person that he worked with, within 2 years of them getting the symptoms of cancer, they had what we in hypnosis call a significant emotional experience. I.e., something terrible happened in their life. Either they lost their job, they lost their house, they lost their wife, husband, they lost a child, they lost a friendship. Something terrible had happened within 2 years of them suffering from the symptoms of cancer in 10,000 case studies. So what he would do, he'd do a form of hypnosis, but he'd call it something else and other talk therapies. And in a huge percentage of those cases, again in the 80s, 90s percentiles, he would get results in that not only would that cancer leave, it would never come back. So a lot of the work that I do is not only about chronic pain, but also degenerative disease. I make no claims that I can cure anyone, because that would be illegal and unethical. Did you realize your doctor can't even tell you that they can cure anything? They're not legally allowed to say it. But what I can help you to do is give you the tools to, at worst case, dial down your chronic pain, at best case, to switch it off. A lot of my clients will leave my office. They'll still have the label of fibromyalgia, yet they'll report to me that they have no more physical pain. They'll still have a degenerative disc in their back. that their doctor's like, you're too old, in their words, not mine, we're not going to work on it, you're going to have too many complications. So they'll just leave my office, they'll still have a chronic disc, yet they won't have the pain anymore. Because there's a big difference between having the condition and having the pain. Once you learn the message from the pain, you can oftentimes let go of the condition. So later on today, I'm going to give you all an experience, those who want to play along, those who do have some kind of chronic pain, I'm going to give you some tools today, live and in living colour, to potentially at worst dial it down, at best potentially switch that off. Would that be of value to you guys? Put your hands up if that would be of value. Awesome. We're going to do that a little bit later on today. The form of hypnosis I do in change work when it comes to pain is called OLD PAIN to Go. And what it is, it's based on working with 115 people. And of those 115 people that had some kind of chronic pain, again, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, back problems, neck problems, shoulder problems, knee problems. And of 115 of those people, I was able to reduce the pain on 80%, 82% of those people. I.e. they came in and they were maybe at 9 out of 10, we maybe got it down to a 1 or a 2 out of 10. And of those 115 people that came in, I was able to help switch off the pain in 80% of those people, based on following up for 2 years. It's nothing special I'm going to teach you. It's going to be ridiculously simple. It's going to be so simple, in fact, you're going to be like, that can't work. Because if it was that easy, everyone would do it. Brings me on to my next point. Oftentimes, when it comes to physical pain, being a hypnotist, being a change worker for 20 years, is people have a thing called secondary gain, or I like to call it first gain. And what that is on some level, they're getting some kind of positive payoff from the pain. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're sitting down at a table one day like this saying, you know what? Oh, I wish I had back pain today, because if I had back pain today, I wouldn't have to go to work, and I wouldn't have to exercise, and my girlfriend would stop having to nag me about exercising because they had a back pain. I'm not suggesting that most people do that, although some people do, and you know who you are. But unconsciously, your unconscious mind, some people call it subconscious, the bit that breathes you, the bit that beats your heart, the bit that sends blood throughout your body, the part that moves your body, the part that gives you thoughts, feelings and sensations. It has the emotional intellect of a 5-year-old. So if I say to you right now, audience, whatever you do, do not think of a blue tree in your mind right now. Don't think of a blue tree. What do you have to do inside your mind? Think of a blue tree? Yeah, because your unconscious doesn't process negatives. So if you get up in the morning, even if you'd suffer from back pain, hypothetically, for 30 years, if you say to yourself, I'm not going to feel pain today, I'm not going to feel pain today, I'm not going to feel pain today, you're already doing hypnosis on yourself. You're giving yourself a suggestion to feel pain. Just like don't think of a blue tree. So always be careful of the suggestions you give yourself, the limitations you put on yourself, and also the limitations that other people are giving you. Because we're getting suggestions all the time. And all hypnosis is suggestions. My job is not to have control of you. My job is to make you a better hypnotist of yourself, so you start to experience more advantageous trances that give you more of what you want in your life and less of what you want in your life. Can I borrow about 5 people down here? I promise not to humiliate you. I need you for about 1 minute, just for a quick demo. So if I could get just 5 people to stand up at the front, please. Cool, how you doing? I'm Luke. What's your name? Carlos, nice to meet you. Veronica, nice to meet you. Danny, nice to meet you. I need 2 more people. Hey, how are you? Tony, nice to meet you. And Jerry, nice to meet you. So what I'd like for you two to do is I just want you to hold this like this. So between you, you hold there for me on that metal strip, you hold there. We're going to get a little bit intimate now. Could you hold this gentleman's hand? And would it be okay for you to hold her hand? Is that okay? Cool. Can I get you to hold his hand for me? Cool. So you see this right now, this is what I do to people's pain, I switch it off. When people come to see me, actually I'll do it like this. Just... Pain's going, as soon as I let go, the pain stops. This is a circuit with all electricity on some level. People come to me, that pain signal is going off over and over again. It's trying to communicate something. In the work that I do, essentially just come in and I just switch that pain signal off just by doing that, and the pain signal switches off. Round of applause. Thank you so very much, guys. Give these guys a round of applause. Here is my big sphere. This represents your amygdala, your prefrontal cortex of your brain right here. It's responsible for all your pain. It's responsible for your hormonal release like dopamine or like serotonin inside your body. I'm committed to my craft, they even tattoo it on me. It's responsible for all your bodily reactions. So one day, when you're amygdala, when you're happy, when you're healthy, when everything is working fine, no trauma really in your life, your amygdala is doing this. Then one day, you have an accident. A car rams into the back of your car. Amygdala fires off like that. It shoots a whole bunch of chemicals inside your body, and your unconscious mind takes a snapshot of everything that's going on at that time. Not only the car accident, but what kind of day it was, what kind of weather it was, what kind of colours you can see, what kind of landscape. It literally takes a snapshot of everything that's going on. That's what happens with a trauma. What stops, what causes people to have chronic pain, what stops it from just shutting down after you've learned the message and you had the appropriate healing time, what stops that from happening is a bunch of these things oftentimes. I'll read them out. Sadness. Sadness might get caught in there. Shame might get caught in there. Anger might get caught in there. Anxiety might get stuck in there. Some kind of trauma might get stuck with that accident that happened. Some kind of guilt on some level might get locked in there. Fear might get locked in there. Pain might get locked in there, emotional or physical. So when your amygdala goes to shut down, to do its normal, natural thing, it can't ever shut all the way down because there's a bunch of this crap, technical word in there. And as long as that crap is in there, it doesn't matter how much medication you take, your amygdala is going to make those signals of pain stronger and stronger and stronger until you get the message. What I do when I work with people over pain is I respectfully kick the hornet's nest and light up their neurology. So it does this. And then I gently shake their amygdala. So all those things that were stopping your amygdala from firing down come out. And you start to go back to the life you had before you ever had that injury. And it's pretty quick, and it's pretty painless. In fact, the average person I'll see for some kind of chronic pain will typically be an hour, and they'll be gone. Now, they might go back to their doctors. They still may be diagnosed as having arthritis, fibromyalgia, yet they won't feel the pain anymore. Now, there's about 40, 50 people in the audience here. If you were in my office before you came in, I would have found out a little bit about your story. Because when I found out a little bit about your story, what was going on around about the same time you had that accident, or around about that same time that you felt chronic pain, that, like a detective, I'd find clues with my mind of deduction, of being like Sherlock Holmes and deducing what was there to find out what your story might be. That when you find out your story and your reason, unconsciously again, not consciously, for keeping your pain, it's a lot easier to get rid of. I don't have that pleasure or luxury today because I've not spoken to all 40 plus of you today. So I'm not going to be able to do that bit with you today, but I'm going to do the second bit with you a little bit later on, so you can have experience of potentially switching off pain. But before I do that, I want to give you, I've made a promise to you today to give you 3 tangible skills to deal with pain. Would it be okay if I presented those to you now?
Yes.
Cool, lovely. I don't ask that you believe me. I don't ask that you don't believe me. I just ask that if I teach you something, use it. And then you be the judge on if it works for you or if it doesn't. Don't trust me, but equally, don't trust your own limitations. Go with it. At worst, nothing happens. At best, it changes your whole friggin' life. So if you've got a physical pain right now, what I want you to do inside your head is score it. between 1 to 10. Does that make sense? I know it's a bit subjective, but if you've got some kind of pain in your body right now, give it a number. 1 is low, 10 is high pain. Nod your head when you've done that. Cool. Because we have to start there. We have to start, because let's say someone comes to see me, and their pain was a 10. A 10 out of 10 for pain, and they leave it a 1. We've taken it from 10 to 1. It's a huge difference. But because there's still 1% left, they feel it didn't work. Because they didn't have that number to begin with. So with all of my clients, whether it's an emotional issue I'm working with or pain, we always get that number, 1 to 10. So once you've got that number inside your head right now, before I do the next bit, I want to teach you one other thing. There's 3 levels to pain, or it's like a table with 3 legs, pain. The legs are this. A client will come into me and I'll say, hey John, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain are you feeling right now while you're sitting in that chair? And John will say, when I woke up this morning, I was feeling, no, how much pain are you feeling right now? Or when I leave tonight and I walk up that staircase, it will be, no, where's your pain now? When we go back to how we were this morning, it's called historical pain. We all do it. It's like, how are you feeling now? Oh, this morning, it was, no, what is it now? Oh, I know later on it is historical pain, which is all of our memories up to that point. That's 1/3 of our pain. Easy to deal with. It doesn't exist anymore. It's your imagination. We can deal with that with the work I do rapidly like that. There's anticipatory pain. Oh, I know when I walk up those stairs, when I go to the gym later, when I do X, Y, and Z, my pain's going to be a 10. That's anticipatory pain. It's basically anxiety for pain. It doesn't exist in that moment, but you're setting up your internal GPS to feel it later. Both of those are completely imagined. People can really feel pain about those things, but neither of them exist. And you know how I know they don't exist? Because one was in the past, one was in the future. Past is gone, future hasn't happened. So when you take away all the past, when you take away the future and you're on that chair right now, ask yourself now as you sit inside this experience of being on that chair right now, right here, in this very moment, in this very room, at 2:05 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, as you sit on your chair, now ask yourself, where's your pain gone now? Hands up if you had a reduction of some kind of pain just by doing that. Kind of weird, huh? Cool. Very, very good. Awesome, you guys are great learning machines. So that's one little tool that you can use. Get yourself out of those traps when you're projecting into the future or when you're living in the past. Just say, what pain am I in now? I'll give you an example. I had a blasting headache last night. I never get headaches. I couldn't sleep, it was that bad. I never get headaches. So as any good change work or hypnotist would do, I do all this stuff on myself. So hey, what's the learning I need to get from this, the learning of which will allow me to let go of this headache? It's like, you just got to stop thinking so much. Stop thinking so much. It's like, you've got to just breathe a bit deeper. So I breathed a bit deeper, drink a bit more water. And as I started to listen without editing, whether it made sense or not, my headache was about an 8, it went down to about 1. When I got up this morning, after no sleep, it was gone. I had to listen to my body. If you see the Hypno Pixie right there, about 3 or 4 years ago, she had her wisdom teeth started to come in. So, and she was in intense pain. Anyone had pain from their wisdom teeth before? Yeah. You know how that feels like, it's unpleasant. It was over the bank holiday weekend. Her dentist was closed. She was at my house, she was in pain, and I wanted to help her. I didn't want to see her in pain. She didn't believe in any of this hypnosis stuff. She's very logical minded. And I'm like, listen, I think I might be able to help you deal with your pain, at least until Monday, this was Friday, or Tuesday when your dentist is back in the office. Can I give you something? At worst, nothing changes. At best, I can take away your pain and give you the ability to do it. She's like, okay. So we did a technique together, and we got her pain. And Mel, what was your pain? Your teeth pain. When you first had it, 1 to 10, how strong was it?
That was 10.
It was a 10.
Anything you can imagine have been wrong with wisdom teeth, I had it. Like I had a golf ball, like infection, and I was crying when they put their teeth.
And then, so that people can hear you as well.
So yeah, it was about a 10. I got everything.
Okay.
Everything wrong that happened with wisdom teeth removal. I had it all. Like it's.
And then after we did our stuff, what did it go down to?
It was a 0, and I wake up the next day, and I was wondering if I need to see my dentist the day after, because I didn't feel any pain, and I was the first one surprised about it.
And you said to me, should I still go and see my dentist?
Yeah, and it was like, of course you do, because you still have the golf ball of infection right here. So I went to see him and everything resolved, but like I really wondered, I don't feel pain, so I should be okay.
Give them the Hypno Pixie round of applause! Here all weekend. So this stuff we're doing now, remember we're dealing with chronic pain, we're not dealing with acute pain. Always consult with your medical physician. We're not replacing medical physicians in any way. It's simply to complement them in what they do. Okay, second technique. There you go, 2 fingers. If you've got any pain left now, as you sit on that chair in this moment, scale it again, 1 to 10, whatever that pain is now you're feeling. Get the number where it is now. Nod your head when you've got it. Big, give me big. Yes, I know. All right, cool. All I want you to do, keep remembering what you're remembering, but take your left hand, and between your little knuckle of your little finger and your ring finger knuckle, there's a little gap. We call it the gamma spot. I want you to tap that area right there. Just between your little finger knuckle and your ring finger knuckle. Just tap that area. You don't need to think or say anything. Just tap that area. Give it a good old tap. Don't hurt yourself, but don't pussyfoot around either. Make it so you can feel it. And just do that for about another 30 seconds or so. Stop. Put your hands down. Close your eyes for a moment. I am not hypnotizing you. But go inside now, inside this experience now, and ask yourself, where's that pain gone now? 0 to whatever number. And then get the new number or 0 if it's completely gone. Open your eyes. Who had a reduction after doing that? On some level. Cool. Very good. Quite a sizable shift. There's a spot, and it's called the gamut spot in force field therapy. And it's a really good emergency first aid thing to do. So if you've got a headache or you experience something in the moment, find those 2 knuckles, tap in, but get the number 1 to 10, then tap that area for about 50. And what it does is, has anyone ever heard of acupressure here before? Anyone ever done it? Yeah, it works in a very, very similar way. It's working with acupressure, acupuncture spots to release different body hormones and to unblock things. That's why it works. I've had clients use that who have had headaches, females that had terrible period pains and cramps, all kinds of things. It's a really good thing you can use in the moment. The third tool that I want to teach you today is it's going to be a nice closed process. This is not hypnosis. This is just visualization. So if you've got some pain left that you want to get rid of and you want me to help, what I'd ask you to do now, again, this is not hypnosis, but your eyes are going to be closed. Go ahead, close your eyes, put your hands on your lap. Go ahead, close your eyes, put your hands on your lap. It works better that way, takes away some distraction. If you do have any pain in your body left now, as always, get that number 1 to 10. Locate where it is in your body. Give it a colour. First colour that comes into your head. Give it a shape. The first shape that comes into your head. Give it a texture. The first texture that comes into your head. And now all I want you to do is change the colour. Change the texture. Change the shape. And now, from that place, notice what shifted. The notice of noticing which will allow you to get distance from that old issue. And when you're ready, come back into the now and open your eyes. Who here had a shift? involved in their pain or discomfort? Hands up, as always. Kind of weird, huh? All we're doing is visualizing stuff changing colors. A really good thing to do is we've got 3 main channels. We've got visual, the visual channel, we're seeing things. We've got the auditory channel, we're hearing things. Pain is often in the kinesthetic channel of feeling things. So as soon as you map something across to another system, i.e. you're getting pain, which is a felt sensation, kinesthetic system, and you map that to visual. What does it look like? What color is it? To what shape is it? To what sound it is? You start to get yourself distance from the kinesthetic. You kind of like you step away from it and leave it there. So by changing it into a color, by changing it into a shape, it changes everything that makes up that pain. So remember, pain's just a message, it's trying to communicate something to you. So again, these are tools that you can use anywhere, anytime. It takes, what, 30 seconds? It took you longer to learn it today because you've never done it. So those 3 tools, and you're going to get some videos with these and some other stuff if your name is signed on that sign-in sheet going around somewhere, is the first tool. I forgot the first tool. What was the first tool? Do you remember? We'll come back to the first tool.
Score the pain.
What was that?
Score the pain.
Yeah, that wasn't the, thank you, but that wasn't the first tool. The second tool was to hit the gamut spot. The third tool was to change the color, was to change the shape, to change the texture of it. And I can't remember what the first tool was, but if you put your name on that list, you're going to get a copy of this video anyways, so you remember it. By the way, the reason I can't remember it is because I'm going to teach you a 4th one right now. I just added the first one in because it came to me and I wanted to over-deliver. So it was a bonus anyways. But here is the real 3rd tool, but it's 4 for us today. So what I'd like you to do is, if you'd like to participate, it's okay for you to stand up. If you've got some pain that you want to switch off or get rid of it today, and you feel comfortable, I'd like you to stand up. And again, remember, in my therapy room, when I do my hypnosis and my change work, I'd have spoke to you on the phone for 30 minutes, you'd have filled out a comprehensive questionnaire, and I would know your story behind your pain. I don't have that luxury today, but I'm still going to give you something, and we're going to see what happens. What I want you to do, if it's safe for you to do, put your feet together, hands by your side. Make sure you've got some space as well. Watch me first, then I ask that you do it, but watch me first. I'm going to ask you to do 3 things in a moment, but watch me. In a moment, I'm going to get you to stand up like so, and I simply want you to ask your unconscious mind, the bit that controls the body, to give you a signal for yes by moving your body forward. I don't want you to consciously do it. I don't want you to, here's me consciously doing it. Don't do that. But let your unconscious control your body. It already beats your heart, controls your muscles. So in a moment, not just yet, your feet will be together, hands by your side. Be stiff, be upright. All I want you to do in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, is think the word yes. In your head over and over again, not yet, but in a moment, think the word yes, and just allow your body to just sway forward. Go ahead and do that now, guys. Close your eyes. Make sure your feet are together. Think yes, yes, yes. And if your body sways forward, raise your hand for me. Cool. If your body did not sway forward, please sit down. If your body swayed forward, please remain standing. That's a huge percentage of you, huh? Kind of cool. Awesome. That was step number 1. We've got a yes. We've got a yes signal. Number 2, listen to me, watch me, then you're going to ask your unconscious. And again, don't consciously play along, don't consciously make it happen, let it happen by itself. Like you don't have to think about breathing, you breathe. You're going to ask your unconscious mind in a moment if it's okay to switch off the pain signal. Not yet, in a moment. You're going to ask your unconscious, is it okay for me to switch off my pain signal? And you're going to wait to see what happens in your body. Go ahead now, ask inside your head if it's okay for you to switch off your pain signal. If your body shifted forward, hold up your hands. Cool. If your body did not shift forward, please go ahead, take a seat. If your body did shift forward, great. You're on to level 3, stay standing. You're doing great. If your body shifted forward both times, stay standing, everyone else down. Thank you. Everyone who's standing now, I would hope, if I hadn't hammered at home enough, that you've got a score, 1 to 10, where that pain is. Everyone got a score? Cool. I'm going to come by before we do the last bit. You don't have to tell me what your pain is, but give me a number on where it is right now. Where's the pain right now? 4. Cool. Where's the pain right now? 3. 2. Who's got a big one right now? I sound a bit rude, but I mean higher. What's yours? 5. Okay. Anyone got above a 5? 6. Anyone got above a 6? Looks like I'm on a crisis. All right, cool. We got some numbers and some real people. Remember what numbers these people say as well, because even if you think I'm putting plants in the audience, I couldn't have put all these plants in the audience. 2. Okay. Was it higher earlier? Yeah. Hey, what was yours? 2. What was it earlier when you first came in? Wait, okay, it was 10, and that's 2. What's yours? 1. What was it when you came in? The 6. Cool, good job. All right, stay standing. Last bit. You ready to switch this pain off? Are you ready to switch this pain off?
Yes. Yes.
Louder.
Yes.
So, listen to me, know where to follow it. In a moment, you're going to ask your unconscious mind or your body, it's basically the same thing. The unconscious, subconscious controls the body. You're going to ask it to switch off the pain, to delete the pain. Delete, delete, delete. Much like you delete a message on your answer phone, much like you delete a file on your computer, much like you take your trash out of your garbage. I have no trash can here, but you can visualize that. That's a hypnotic skill as well. You're going to ask your unconscious mind in a moment to go ahead to switch off that pain so you don't feel it ever again. Everyone get that? Feet together, close your eyes. Ask your unconscious mind now to go ahead and delete the pain, to turn the pain off, and then wait for the yes signal. Hands up who got a yes signal to switch off the pain. Cool. Everybody sit down now. Everybody sit down. And I'm only talking to the people who got a yes 3 times. So the people who got a yes to the last one all 3 times. Close your eyes. The people who just got a yes, 3 yeses in a row, those people, close your eyes. I'm talking to you now. Sit there on that chair, allowing that chair to support your back, your legs, your glutes. And I'd like for you to imagine, pretend or make believe now that everything just slows right down. I'd like for you now to go for a scan from your body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Scan your body, look for any muscles that are tight. If you find muscles that are tight, tighten those muscles a bit more, and then just let them relax. Keep scanning your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, looking for any tight muscles. When you find tight muscles, ligaments, tendons, tense them a little bit more. And then just release them. Again, continue to scan your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Notice any areas that are tight, that are inflamed, that are tense. Go ahead, tense them up a bit more. And now relax them. And now imagine as if you were standing under a beautiful waterfall. And there's tiny bits of water that are coming, falling onto the top of your head, feeling lovely, feeling refreshing, going into your body, clearing out any debris, any blockages, any pain, discomfort. almost like that water is going through stones, little rocks. And you know that when that water starts to fall down that waterfall through all those little stones, there's no way you can stop that cleansing effect. Even if you try to clog up that waterfall or all those little holes or jagged edges on that rock, you couldn't stop it. The water is going to drop down onto all those pebbles. And imagine that all that water is going through all the pebbles of your mind, clearing out all your pain, your old chronic pain. It's deleting it. It's switching it off from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Take as much time as you need. And when you feel that that pain has either completely switched off in this moment or tremendously been dialed down, and you're comfortable with that, then and only then, open your eyes and notice how good it feels. And you might notice that some people still have their eyes closed. That's okay. Sometimes people process things in a different way. It's their unconscious mind doing a thing called transcendental searches.
Thank you.
How are you? So, when you came, I know you're on painkillers, so, but when you came in today, what was it?
My nerve in the thigh exploded.
What level of pain were you in when you came in today? 13?
This morning, so that's why I took the painkiller.
What are you now? You don't feel it?
And the painkiller was coming off.
And the painkiller was coming off?
Yeah, it was coming off.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have a story of that pain just getting switched off that you'd like to share? It's okay, we got the best story. Right here. Remind me, what's your pain when you came in today? About 3 when you came in today. Where are you at now for the pain you've got? It's a 1. Cool, it's just gone down. You know what, when I'm done with my talk, you and I can have a chat about that, and I might be able to offer some tools. Okay? Cool. This man here, bodybuilder, guy's got big muscles over here, I've got a nice beard as well. I have to be careful here. Last year, I blew out the speaker. It cost them like $5,000 by blowing out the speaker. Thank you. So where was your pain when you came in today? It was about 6. Where is it? May I ask, if you feel comfortable, what was it? Back pain, yeah. That's awesome. Give those people a round of applause. So you know, usually at these events, right, the person comes on and they come on stage, and they tell you their name, what their company is, why they're great, and you should buy their products. I like to deliver to you, give you an experience, and then when I've earned the right to do that, then I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Have I earned the right to tell you a little bit about myself now? Thank you. My name's Luke Michael Howard. I'm a clinical hypnotist. I have 3 offices, one in Toronto on Bloor Street, one in Ottawa in the Westboro area, and one in Las Vegas where I train other hypnotists and other change workers. I've been doing this, as I say, 22 years, and I do work one-on-one with people and over Skype as well. I have many clients who are in Australia or my country, England or India, that it's a bit of an expensive air flight to come in and see me. And my job is to help people fix things they believe are unfixable, to help people solve things they believe are unsolvable. I've helped military, I've helped celebrities, and I've also helped people like yourself, people that have fallen through the cracks and are really at their last resort. I specialise in helping people deal with all chronic pain and all forms of addictions, whether that be cigarettes, sugar, alcohol, crack, heroin, crystal meth, you name it. And my job, my mission is to prove that nobody's unfixable and no problem has to keep you chained off or shackled or keep you locked in that matrix anymore. My goal is to empower you that you don't need me and And you don't need people like me in your life anymore, because when you leave my office, you can do what you need to do to run your mind and to run your neurology. So I'm not like a counselor, I'm not like a psychotherapist, I'm not like a cognitive behavioral therapist where you'll keep coming to see me week after week. No codependency. You come in, you've got a result, we work. I give you all the tools that you need, and respectfully, I hope I never see you again, unless you've got another issue, which is completely unrelated, and I can help you with that. But that being said, I'm going to take your questions in a moment. My booth is booth 66. If it was one more 6, it would be my number. I'm not the devil, although I've worked there from time to time. But stop by at my booth, you can pick up some details, and also we're doing fun demonstrations of hypnosis. I'm not doing therapy, because 10 minutes to do therapy, if we open up a can of worms, it'd be unethical to do that. We're not doing therapy over there, but that's what I do on my day job. But at my booth, we're just doing fun experiences of hypnosis. Not going to humiliate you in any way, shape or form, but teach you some stuff about how your mind works and show you some cool things that you can do with your mind and body using hypnosis at booth 66 over there if you want to experience that. Here today and tomorrow. There's a sign-in sheet. If you haven't signed in to get the videos of 3 ways to release your pain, 4 ways now, put your name and email that. Otherwise, who has some questions for me? Hands up. To the lady in the front row, what's your question? Yeah. Yeah. It's not that you're not treatable, it's that I need more time with you one-on-one. If you were in my therapy office, I'd have you at least an hour. We'd have spoken on the phone, I'd know your story, remember I told you your story, and I'd have your questionnaire. So I'd be prepared because I know you come to see me, and I've done my homework. So you can still be helped, but I have to do things rapidly in this place, because people are going to get bored and switch off. But yeah, no, we just have more time together and I can help you. Any more questions? No more questions? All right, well, hey, it's been lovely being here today. Thank you for listening to me. Stop by booth 66 over there.
I hope you enjoyed that seminar. I hope you action some tips on how to help yourself or someone else is in pain. It is very, very powerful. If there's something in your life that's been causing you to feel stuck, be that in your health, be that in your relationships, be that in your career, and you're not quite sure how to fix it or where to turn, but it's getting to a point where you've got to do something about it because it's causing you some kind of pain, be that physical, be that mental, be that emotional, then please do contact me on mail at lukenosis.com. Mail, M-A-I-L, at lukenosis, LUKENOSIS.com, and request a 30-minute complimentary unstuck session with me, either over the telephone or over some kind of video messaging. And please understand, this is not a free therapy session, this is not a hypnosis session, anything like that. It's an opportunity to have me in your corner for 30 minutes to brainstorm some ways that potentially I can help you to pull yourself out of that hole that you're in, to take your life to the next level. And it goes without saying, as always believe.